One of her biggest passions for people, especially for the youth, is to own up their magic, their genius, and really leave their imprint on the world while on a mission to mainstream transformation. She's here to serve and look out for everyone in their goals and accomplishments for the future. She can relate and be on your side throughout your future path, journey to successfulness. She is such an inspirational woman of our youth generation, and it gives me great pleasure of welcoming Youth Life Coach Michelle Jeovanny!
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome.
Thanks for being here.
Yes.
Thank you. This is awesome.
Yes, it is. You know, we go back to like summer 2018.
Yes.
That was the first time I had met you, and you were doing like a presentation on stage during the summer. You in front of like thousands of youth, I believe, or hundreds of youth. However it goes. But I mean, what was it like? What's it like just coaching like all these youths in front of everyone, or just doing it one by one in particular? Because I know you did it with me, which we'll show later on in the show. So
I love it. I love coaching people both young and old, or younger, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I love being on stage and being able to be a conduit for this greater message to flow through me. And it's like you're almost like this architect of energy, because you're listening for what the audience wants,
Yes.
and you're speaking based on what you're picking up and moving the energy.
yes.
I like that. Architect of energy. I like that. Yeah.
Yes, I'm loving it as well. And you know, and I was just going through my research here, and I just found out that
You did some extensive research.
yeah, like you wrote like a book that just came out this past January called 108 Self Rituals, and in the book you talk about how we raise the bar on ourselves, how do we love ourselves from this point, and so like. There's like 108 self-rituals.
Self-love rituals.
Self-love rituals. Could you?
Yeah, so
Yes.
this is one of the pillars of my work, where it really, everything that you have in your life, every experience, every relationship, everything that you are attracting, experiencing in your life, is a direct correlation to how you view yourself. So I work with my clients, or I work with audiences, to really clean the mirror, if you would say, right?
Yes.
So that they can see themselves basically, and respecting everyone's belief, how the divine would see you, which is this miracle, and how we revere like the oceans and the mountains, and we'll stay looking at sunsets and things of nature with this awe. But what if you looked at yourself that way? And if you got that how you see yourself is literally creating your entire world, your entire reality, and everything that you have is a correlation to this.
Yes, because it's like you have everything that you see that's a correlation can have an impact on your life, even as you grow older and as time goes on here. So, I mean, I'm just now finding this out just moments ago. But I feel like this is really interesting. I really would want to read this book here. I got
Awesome.
got a little detail on it already here on this here. So.
108. Do you mind
Yes.
speaking on a couple of those?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
the book is 108 rituals, right? And I'm such a big believer in rituals, because rituals are a practice. It's how we turn things into a ceremony or sacred ritual. And a lot of people have lost that enamor, like that romance to life. So imagine meditation, like really turning everything into a meditation. Or dance, like having this dance off with yourself in such a way that you're just like purging and you're moving through things in a way that you start shifting everything that is no longer you, and you start stepping into the things that actually excite you. Being in clear space. So there's dance, there's meditation. I also love creating, so I'll create mala beads, mantras, affirmations, but it can be as simple as gardening, or if there's some guys that love to go to a game and have that moment with their guys, that can be even a practice.
Yes. So, and you know, because you know, and when at the thing, when you were speaking in front of all the youth, you gave out your most inspirational story of when you were younger. I mean, I'm not gonna like tell it exclusively. I'm just gonna leave it to you and just, if you don't
Yeah.
mind, share.
Well, my story began in Dominican Republic with my mother being, in this physically abusive, emotionally abusive relationship that I then, and we're talking about like extreme violence at home, and I ran away from Dominican Republic, which you heard that story.
Yes.
And that is really my story for the youth, that how I went from running away, sleeping in the streets, being homeless in the streets of the South Bronx, where in Dominican Republic, I had everything kind of like all the nannies and everything being given and done for me, to now being homeless in South Bronx, in the cold, mind you. I'm an island girl, so that was
Oh, that's a big-
rough.
I know.
Transition right there, yeah.
But I went from being homeless in the streets to now being my CEO, and I really believe that God is my CEO. I'm at service through
Yes.
this spirit working through me. But now I have my own businesses and I travel the world. I speak in different schools, and I'm an author and I'm working on films, so
Yes.
it's exciting times.
Speaking of traveling, I see here that you want to travel to the 7 chakras of, was it Mama Earth?
You have done
Right,
research
a little bit,
too.
just a little bit. So you want to speak more on that and exactly
Yes,
what that
so
is?
this is another big pillar of my work, where everything is energy. Energy is energy is energy, and everything is touching everything because it's all energy. And just like you have 7 chakras in your body, in your energetic grid, so does the earth. As below, so above, so above
Yes.
as below, right? And it's basically that we are this micro of the macro, which is the earth, and so on with the universe. But the earth has 7 chakras, and I am on this mission of getting there within a certain time frame, and just really meditating, sitting there and absorbing all that
Do you
energy.
think that spiritually will boost anything by being in one of those chakras, or?
I really believe so, because it's when you put yourself in these vortexes, that energy is like this vortex, and you putting yourself in there just starts really being a catalyst in so many different ways.
Yes, and now speaking of that mission, like what do you hope to accomplish on that mission as time goes on? What are you hoping to accomplish?
My work or the 7 chakras?
The 7 chakras.
I think visiting the 7 chakras is just going to have me fall deeper in love with all aspects of me. Have you ever gone somewhere? Have you traveled?
Yes.
And the first time you go to that place, it's like there's a part of you that awakens. You start falling in love with all these, like the newness of life, and I think it's about that for me.